All right, we're not gonna talk about Kyrie because that's over. Now I am gonna talk about James Harden. And Mo, we're gonna start off with you. It's a two-part question. Do you see James Harden getting traded before the trade deadline? And how is he being detrimental to his team right now? Because there's a lot of drama going on.
I see it. I see it being. I see it. It has to be for the trade deadline now. I just don't think if they was going to. And this is my thinking. If I'm gonna trade him right now, and I know I got a trade partner before the trade deadline, I'm not playing him. I'm not putting him on the court. That's just me. That's just me as a GM, me as an owner, telling my coach like, look, we got a trade partner. We just wait for a legit deal. We have something in place. We're not going to play him. Why sit here parading around teasing fans and teasing people if we know he ain't gonna be here? So I feel like I would wait till trade deadline. Two, it's been a major distraction. Like it's been a major distraction. It's not fair to the team. Yes, it does happen, and yes, things do go down. But to a team who's been a regular Western Conference playoff team, and now you're dealing with a new head coach who I don't know if dude's ever been a head coach before, or if he has, he hasn't been successful. I'm like, this is very rough. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool. Craig, what's your thoughts, man? Do you think he's gonna get traded before the trade deadline? And how detrimental is James Harden to his team right now?
I think he probably. I didn't think this at first, like last time we talked, but I think he probably would say like a 75% chance, I guess, before the trade deadline. Because there's talks going on with different teams. Nobody's really close to actually reaching the deal to trade him, but I think if talks continue and the way James Harden is acting with the media and everything like that, and like nobody wants that on their team, so it's just bad for business. So I think he could possibly get traded. As far as part two goes, I think it's just a chemistry issue. Like you just traded for John Wall, and he's supposed to be just I guess star point guard now. And then you got DeMarcus Cousins there. You still got Eric Gordon. You still got a decent team, a playoff team, if he's there. And he's not there to build that chemistry with your new point guard and some of your new players. So that part's rough, especially with the West the way it is. I think the West is pretty much deep again, with all these other teams that have emerged from last year. And Houston just seems to be dropping from fourth or fifth last year. Now I don't even know if they're gonna make the playoffs if James Harden's not there. Even if he's there, like it just could be a big distraction the whole season. So it's just not a good look for Houston as a franchise to have him on your team. You could just be a distraction the whole 72 games, or at least however many games before the trade deadline. So I kind of agree with what Mo said. Like if he's just not, he can find a trade partner, especially if you're getting close to maybe trading him. Just sit him down. Like that way you can save him from possibly getting hurt, and mess up the whole trade. He's not going to be there, so he doesn't want to be there. So I would just try to move him on.
All right, and we got Joe back.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, internet problem.
It's okay, man. It happens. No, so my question was, do you think James Harden is going to get traded before the trade deadline, and how detrimental is he to the Houston Rockets right
now? He reminds, as far as detrimental, but he reminds me a lot of like T.O. From, I guess it was 15 years ago at this point. But he seems to have a pretty toxic personality. Doesn't get along with his teammates. Puts himself above them. Doesn't get along with the coaches. So he's not a personality that I would want in my team's locker room. But man, he's really good at playing basketball. And that's how he gets away with it. And then trade before the deadline. We talked about this on the last show. It's going to be hard to move him because what team has an extra superstar to trade for Harden? So I think they'll just try to stick it out. and make him play.
Interesting. That's an interesting perspective. At this point, I I didn't think they were going to, right? But like reports came out today, he's throwing balls at teammates. They're getting into arguments. At this point, I think you have to trade him. You gotta take your loss and go. It doesn't matter if it's for a superstar. You gotta get him out of there because it's detrimental to the team. He's talking about he has trainers in Atlanta and Vegas. What? You telling me you have personal trainers in two cities that are prominent with strip clubs? That's all I'm saying. Like, listen, I don't hear a lot of NBA stars say they go train out Vegas. They say they go train out San Diego. They say they go train out LA. I just don't see them saying, yeah, I got trainers in Vegas and ATL. What? No, you don't. You was hanging out with Lil Baby, man. Come on. Social media tells everything. So at this point, they got to get what they can get. They got to chalk it up, and they got to unfortunately blow it up because your best player is you're not going to make the playoffs in the West where your best player is having problem with his teammates and management. Like that's not gonna like this at this point. I think other NBA players on the team are starting to lose a little bit of respect for him, and then that's where they're not gonna play for him. I was looking on they were playing a preseason game. A new player, Christian Wood, James Harden's asking for the ball. He ignores him and scores the basket. So then you start getting into players aren't listening to leadership, your best player, and it starts being a dysfunction. And that's how a dysfunctional franchise implodes because of that. Because it's like, I'm not going to listen to you. You don't come to film sessions. You don't come to practice on time. We out here grinding, and that's how you start losing locker rooms. So I think they got to move on. With the new head coach, start fresh. Get them out of there. It doesn't matter what you get for them. As a Rockets organization, you're just going to have to say, we took a loss on this one. Because nobody wins in this situation. Because he's just, at this point, he's just going to end up leaving anyway. So you can almost salvage the season.